can do that. I'm in full sweat, and I got done with work a little bit early. It rained today, so I don't have to water too much. And I was waiting for the horses to come up, and I was like, you know what? Why wait alone? Why not hang out with y'all? I usually feed around 6 o'clock, so we're early. And I was sitting down and I was thinking about pouring myself a soda and just like taking a breath, you know, that unwind from work of like, do I start a project? Do I wait? I think I'll wait till it cools off because, you know, it's hot, as you can see, but I'm waiting for the horses to make their way up. I've also was sort of sitting here and just wondering, like, am I gonna watch them get into the pond? And I know that y'all can't see perfectly, so I'm gonna drag the chair out a little bit and we will watch together. I'll put you over my shoulder. I'll put the fountain over my shoulder. The horses are still out in the pasture grazing right now. I know it's Thursday evening and we don't normally get to hang out on Thursday evening, but I finished work. I actually got groceries. I got them unpacked and I halfway have them put away. You know, I put all the cold stuff away and the rest of the stuff sitting on the counter. And I was like, I want to go walk out and see if the horses are going to take their normal swim dip before they come up to eat. Storm usually gets in. The others probably don't, but she usually cools herself off to be able to come eat dinner. And as I was sitting out here, I was like, I should share this moment with you. So yes, I'm home. Everything looks incredibly beautiful. Lester mowed here today. He also did some dirt work. There was something else he did. Oh, he brought home green hay today, and he brought home a small trailer because I'm going to use it for one of my projects. So what did y'all do today? How hot are you? Because I'm looking at myself now, I'm like, man, I really didn't think this through. I didn't really plan to face y'all. I was gonna hope to be able to, I'm gonna spin this around. We've had almost a daily shower and not a lot. We had 2.5 inches yesterday, which really made things grow wild overnight. It feels like jury duty tomorrow. Oh no. I want to flip this camera around. Hang on a second here. And we're gonna watch together. I know you can't see perfectly. The horses, if you can see Storm out there, they're all kind of behind that tree. Storm just realized something. Somebody said something to someone. So I'm hoping to be able to catch everybody roll in for dinner. This is not a super eventful live. If you came here looking for like major activity and things like that, this is not the case. Oh, look. They are walking up. Oh, so Storm is like last in line for some reason. I am wondering who's leading the charge because I see Val and Talus, but somebody's in front of them. Sorry for bumping you. Let's see who comes out around the corner. It's about the time that they're rolling in for dinner. I usually feed up at 6 o'clock. Oh, Bucky's is out here. Hold on a second. Bucky's is out here with Storm, waiting and coming a different way, which makes me wonder, are they going to get in the pond? And then I see Val and Talus, but I don't see Prim or Ivy. So I'm curious as to like who's leading who and in what direction. So Storm and Bucky's are definitely going this way. And then over here we have Val and Talus. Sorry for shaking. Yes, Lester cut beautiful lawn today. I know that I can mow the grass, but he really does an amazing, like, look how straight his lines are. Now, if I had carpet, I would compete because I would have the most beautiful vacuum lines, but he does have the most beautiful mow lines. All right, we're still waiting to see who's gonna pop out on the other side of those trees as first. Come, okay, you see the reflection in there in the pond? Hurry up, guess who's gonna be first? Oh no, now that's cheating because Talus just walked right in front of Val. Sorry for shaking you. But Prim's with them. That's my hungry crew right there. Those are my eaters. Now, don't get me wrong, Val's a lover too. And Talus is too. But I love this little, like, the evening approach, because you're gonna see some that are coming. I don't know if they do it because they hear me talking or if they truly know what time it is, but they're gonna come and linger a little bit. And I won't be so hard fast to be like, we don't feed till exactly 6 o'clock, but 6 o'clock on the dot, but I will, you know. I will pay attention to what's going on out here. Usually Talus and Val will come wait at the fence and then everybody else goes to the back. And I know that you may think this is crazy, but that's how they know the routine. Like, nobody else tries to get out of the pasture except for Talus and Val. So I don't have to like fight anybody at the gate. They know that they're gonna come eat here on the lawn. And then the others will walk behind the garage over here, and I have their feed bowls out in that part of the pasture. Look, they're watching and waiting to see what their friends are gonna do. And I see the matriarch is down here behind the well. You see her? So these guys are checking out Lester's dirt work. Lester did some dirt work out here this afternoon. I know he's not done, but they're checking out and giving that a full inspection before they head up to dinner. Now, I know that the littles are making their way up as well, and that we still have pasture chaos happening over there. Not really chaos, like the alpacas have had some access, and this morning even the goats were in the alpaca pasture and all kinds of things. Uh-oh, this is funny. I'm trying to move slow. Val is on alert of like, wait, what are they doing? What do they have? What's brewing over there? Now, I'm not saying that we don't have a little bit of drama every once in a while, but for the most part, these guys are pretty dang chill. Now, here's something interesting too. Prim is waiting back for the rest of the herd, but also is like, well, wait, where is everybody going? She isn't gonna wait all alone. And Val and Talus aren't gonna walk too far away from there. I know you just heard your name and looked right at me. I see you. They're looking at like, Mom, what's going down over here? What is this? No one is sure of the fountain. I turned off the fountain this morning whenever I fed them, and I think that Lester turned it back on somewhere around 2 o'clock today. I know that it doesn't affect the whole pond by any means, and it doesn't affect where all of where they swim, but it is in a little bit of their space. So Storm is a pretty skeptical girl. So I'm hoping that I'll go into the pond with her and show her the fountain and show her it's okay. But I'll turn it back off here in a bit, let her swim after dinner. That's kind of her routine. There is a timer capability on it. Lester got the down low on how to do that, and it's not digital. It is like, it looks like a sundial a little bit. So I'm gonna let him show me how to do that. And, we'll figure out what the routine should be. I think that if we keep, yes, the fountain is beautiful and I want it to be seen during the day, all those things. But I think if we start out by doing it at night, that leaves the horses their time to swim during the day and doesn't cause them to be fearful of whatever's going on. Now, I have seen them all go up to drink out of the pond with the fountain on, no problem. I've seen them walk all the way around, no problem, anything like that. But I have not seen anybody swim in the fountain with it, or in the pond with the fountain on. Everybody decided that they knew that Mom was not quite ready. So they're like, we'll go hang out in the shade and wait for you. And Storm can't stay out of the dirt. Storm is like this little kid all of a sudden who cannot stop messing around with it. For whoever asked about the recliner, the brand name was Flex eSpot. F-L-E-X-I-S-P-O-T. I know some other people were asking me about that in emails too, and I just hadn't had time to respond. Jeff is here. Well, hello, Jeff. This is not the active live that you would normally see on one of Lester's channels. Sorry, this is the afternoon wind down version of watching and waiting for my animals to come up, and time that I normally don't have. But today I decided to capitalize on it and, you know, share it as well. It would be really neat to see Chuck swim. Somebody just said that. I would love to see Chuck swim. He's in the bullpen right now though, and that's not quite possible. Now, as everybody's together over here and we start to get closer to dinner time, you may see a little more drama than normal, but it's nothing bad. It's just that they sort of like, they're hot and hungry and don't want to be touched. Hi, Val. Hi, sweet girl. Oh boy. That cat's going to chase the squirrels that are around that tree. It is a full moon, Christy. Did you hear that it's called the thunder moon? Have you looked that up? Not just a regular moon, the thunder moon. Yes, the thunder moon, because they believe that there will be loud noises in the sky at this time. And then, do you know there's supposed to be two, I don't know if they're meteor showers or what, that are supposed to happen before the end of this month that are related somehow to this thing too. I haven't fully dove into what the heck that means, but when I heard thunder moon, I was like, well, this can't be good, you know. So that also is what prompted me to show you that this is indeed Thursday. You are seeing a Thursday, which feels very normal and beautiful and peaceful at this moment. But don't you think for one second that a Thursday combined with something called the thunder moon doesn't have the possibilities of ensuing pure mayhem here, because the night is young, my friends. Very young. The buck moon, yeah. So it's also called the buck moon, which was named after the this is the time of year, and legend says that this would be when the male deer get their new set of antlers. I did get my watermelon, y'all. I'm kind of a watermelonaholic. Every year in July is called the thunder moon. I didn't know that. It's the very first time I ever heard of it. It is gonna be fine. Denise is expecting rain and storms tonight. You know what's really strange is we've had only 40% chance of rain, and it has sprinkled. It sprinkled this morning. Yesterday we had a major downpour. And the next 3 days it calls for 40%, but it's been hitting a little bit here. Now, everywhere around us has gotten way more rain than we have. Watermelon is my favorite fruit, y'all. And it is the time of year where they are deep red and delicious. And I'm also embarrassed to tell you that I have the most beautiful watermelon plants growing in both of my gardens, the raised bed and the terrace garden. And I don't have a single dadgum watermelon on any plant, and I'm not making that up. I don't know what happened to them, if I'm just behind the game or what the heck is going on, but I did not have a single one pop up yet. Now, there are some things growing out in the Littles pasture that resemble, I'm gonna say pumpkin. They look like pumpkin, but the leaves are a little bit smaller than I would expect. So I'm curious, are they gourds that somehow got out there? Are they just a weed? Is it watermelon indeed? I don't know, but I haven't walked out there because every time I've walked out, Carl is out there, and I'm not going out in the middle of the day with Carl. And then in the evening time when I feed, I forget all about it because things get crazy. I do have flowers on there, but there are no, so they're all male, and I don't understand that. So if you know growing, there'll be male flowers and female flowers, and the females have a tiny little fruit there, and I understand pollination and all of that now, but I have no female flowers. So I guess maybe that's a nutrition thing, or I planted those too late. Maybe that's that's possible too. I do feel like I have a shortage of bees, and I had planned on adding bees to my skill set this year, or at least attempting to, and I just got overwhelmed with everything and decided that I didn't need to add anything else to my life. Oh boy. See, this is the hangry parts that you're going to start to see, is where everybody starts jacking with each other and they're waiting for me. And what time is it? I'm so sorry to ask. I know I'm holding a phone, but I can't see the time. I can only see that we've been live just under 20 minutes. Car cake does sound good. What type of watermelons did I plant? I planted Sugar Baby and Jubilee. 528. Okay. So I'm still 30 minutes ahead from when they normally eat. So they are hearing me, and they're like, why would Mom sit here and stare at us? Why would she not get up and do anything? Doesn't she see we're starving over here? Thank y'all for all the time checks. I'm totally okay with pollinating anything, but I can't even get the fruits to grow. Maybe I just need to fertilize a little bit more. I don't know. I did not have the best of gardens this year. I am an official pepper grower. I have mastered peppers. I've also mastered eggplants. Really great at that. I even got really dang good at sweet corn, and you're gonna think that I'm lying, but I had probably over 50 ears of corn that came up, I would say 3/4 of the size of a normal ear, which wasn't bad. Could not grow popcorn, could not grow, I tried to grow that rainbow corn, that glass corn, also failed at that. But it was a very weird garden year. We had so many new pests, and it rained, which was great. It was beautiful. It rained and it rained and it rained. But I couldn't use 7 dust because it rained every day. I have not chilled my watermelon seeds. Maybe I need to do that. Vanessa, I love sweet corn. I could eat sweet corn every day. I know it's a sugar. Val also loves corn, Louise. Val, she's eaten everything she could reach from the corn, and now she's moved on to cucumber plants and the grape leaves as well. She's eaten every grape leaf she could find, and she will eat every cucumber she could find as well. The peaches and cream corn is some of what I grew this year. I also grew the bantam, and mostly because bantam is a chicken, so I was like, I'll grow bantam corn. That sounds cute and fun. Corn is $12 a dozen. Holy moly. Val loves to eat out of the garden, and I know that some people would freak out, but it's like one of my most favorite things. When she gets done eating, she just moseys her way up and just like, it's like somebody bellying up to the bar. She just like sticks her little nose in there and finds something. And the cutest thing is watching her eat a cucumber. It sounds like she has the most hollow head. And I know that sounds so mean, but she literally will like, man, all the horses left me now, and I'm sitting here staring at a propane tank, and I can't walk down there because I'll lose my signal. I might be able to go just a little bit further for y'all. There's Bucky's. Sorry for the shake. Drug you on rocks. But when she eats that cucumber, it sounds like she is like this. The crunch sounds so hilarious, and she takes pretty dainty bites overall. Peggy, I did all big tomatoes this year, and I had a pretty good run on tomatoes, but I am going to probably scale back next year because I'm not actually able to keep up with them, and this year the harvest even got ahead of me, so I think that I will really scale down to the types that I like and maybe just go with like 4 to 6 plants instead of, 20, because I'm also not keeping up with eating everything each year. So I still have some jam left from last year in addition to what I made this year. I still have some pickles left from last year in addition to what I made this year. And I have some salsa left, and I did not make any spaghetti sauce, but I think I'll attempt that next year. Mindy, I grew lemon cucumbers, but I didn't eat them because I was like, oh, they just look bitter. I know that people say they're wonderful and taste delicious, but they look like my other cucumbers that I leave on the vine too long. Everybody's sort of like hiding from the camera right now, and I'm so sorry. This was supposed to be like where they would be right here and all hanging out, and they all ditched us. They're all like hanging around the water cooler over there. One of the cute things about after dinner here is after I get everybody fed, I feed Talus and Val first, then the rest of the horses. Then I'll go, and if Lester hasn't done the littles yet, then I'll go do the littles, do their waters, and by the time I come back, then Val and Talus are done. So I'll wait till the other horses are completely done eating, get Val and Talus back in the pasture, and they'll sit there and wait for me. And if I don't walk in, they'll stand in the way of the gate because they want me to walk in to go hose them down. So I'll walk over to where they're all standing right now and get everybody sprayed down. And they all line up like we are some sort of like, I'm the center of the wagon wheel, and they're all like lined up like spokes of it. And I'm spraying like I'm a car wash going back and forth. And it's adorable. And they will stand there until I'm done. They will not move. Even the other night it started to sprinkle on us, and they're like, nope, we're hanging out with Mom. It'll be fine. My freezer is full, y'all. I have so much squash in my freezer and just other things. I only have a stand-up and then the tiny one in the house. And I'm kind of a stickler about, like, I like my freezers to be full so that way if I can't run into town or if something comes up, then I have sort of the staples here of being able to throw something together for a meal. And Talus is itching his booty again against that tree. I don't know if you can see his head rocking back and forth. I know that I'm shaking. I'm sorry. He stopped now. But I don't have any more room in my freezer. I gotta eat some stuff. It really is a beautiful night. It's hot and I'm sort of melting here. But I try really hard not to complain about how hot it is. I promise you. How do I cook my yellow zucchini? So I like yellow zucchini grilled. Or in the pan. I like to be able to, if I'm gonna grill it, I will paint it with, this sounds silly, I'm gonna paint it with some ranch dressing, and then I'm gonna sprinkle cayenne pepper on top of it. That's it. If I'm gonna grill it, I'll drizzle some olive oil in the pan. I'll slice it thin. I forgot to mention on the grill I spear it. On the skillet, I'll slice it thin, put some olive oil in the pan, salt, pepper, garlic, and maybe a little crushed red pepper for some spice. And I'm not afraid to use real butter. Lester likes his in the microwave. So we'll cook all the different varieties like that. I do put it in pastas. And then I freeze dried some as well, and it actually makes like a powder. So I feel like that adding that powder to things like to a tomato sauce or things like that, I feel like I'm getting some extra veggies in there. Am I really gaining nutrients? I have no idea, but I'm gonna call it calorie free because it's powder. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Who's Willow? I'm so confused on who Willow is. Ooh, add it to meatloaf. I made meatloaf in it like a boat that year, and Lester did not like it. It wasn't the best. I still don't know who Willow. A new puppy. Who got a new puppy? Oh, I like the name Willow as well. Okay. Whew. Are y'all still there? Well, I know Willow is Jake's horse, but a lot of people were saying Willow. Okay. I'm up to speed now. Carrie's getting a new dog, and Carrie wanted to know if anybody liked the name Grace or Willow. Got it. We're all good in the hood now. Ooh, flavored breadcrumbs on zucchini or squash. That sounds delicious. I like real butter as well, Miss Buffy. I use butter. Like if I cook a steak, I of course put seasoning on it and let it soak into that. But then I'll put pats of butter on it to really make that stuff go through. I do use olive oil, but I also use real butter. I didn't grow up using real butter. This is an embarrassing story. I didn't know the difference between margarine or oleo and butter until I was probably 25 or 30, somewhere in there. I'm gonna say 25. And I was married at the time, and I was at my mother-in-law's house, and she literally was making garlic bread or something, and I went to grab butter, what I thought was butter, from the fridge, and I said, "Do you have any of spreadable butter?" And she goes, "Honey, butter is butter. If you want to spread it, you put it in the microwave for a little bit." She goes, "We don't have any of that country crock here." And I was like, now they were from St. Louis, okay, not from the town that I was from, and very, very different upbringing and meal types and all kinds of things. But she basically told me, like, we don't do country crock in this house. And I was like, I didn't know there was a difference. I had no idea. And then I went home, and the next time I went grocery shopping, I placed my order for butter instead of country crock. And I'm embarrassed to admit, but that was like that was a level up in my life that, like, I didn't know that I wanted or needed until that moment. I had no idea. Butter was butter. Like, give me the butter dish. The butter dish was country crock, or I can't believe it's not butter, or whatever. I had no idea. No idea. So I enjoy butter now, and I'm kind of a butteraholic, and yeah, I like it. Now, I grew up in, I don't want to call it a country home, because we weren't a country home. We lived in town, and my grandparents, everybody lived in town, but my grandmas both cooked country meals. So there was always a tub of lard in the refrigerator, in addition to that butter dish or stick of oleo. But I don't remember ever having genuine real butter growing up. I also will admit, I really like that spray. Is it Parquet, the spray? What's the blue bottle of spray, quote unquote, butter? I am not ashamed to admit that I really like that for some ears of corn. Even though I do love real butter and I love all of that, but when it comes to like a big family barbecue, is it Parquet? Yeah. I'm not afraid to put that out as an option for people who want to eat corn on the cob. I have had homemade butter. My mom, a few years ago, of course she did, made butter as Christmas gifts. So she made a honey butter, she made a cowboy butter, and I think she made like a garlic parmesan. And then that's what she gave as gifts, and it was amazing, full blown amazing. Pawpaw makes, but I knew Pawpaw made butter. I have never made it. I use bacon grease for a lot of things as well, but it's less and less these days. I usually I made Lester's favorite beans yesterday afternoon, and I actually threw the bacon grease away because I didn't have any visions of needing it for the next week or so. And I know what you're saying. You should have just put it in the back of the fridge, Jamie. I get really grossed out by the bacon grease after it gets hard. I'm okay with it. Like if I know that day I'm going to use it to do the next thing, or if I'm cooking bacon and I want to use the grease to cook as part of the meal, totally okay with that. But once it gets hard, I don't want it to touch me. I specifically don't like how it separates and how you have like some of that stuff going through. Ugh, that's the grossest thing in the world to me. I don't like that. I also, since we're talking about gross things, don't really like doing dishes that have sat in the sink for beyond that meal. So if like dishes sat overnight and there was food touched to them and they weren't just rinsed to where I have to put them in the dishwasher, oh, it's the grossest thing in the world to me. And the cold water that is sitting on them too, oh my gosh. I would rather just stay up late and just make sure that everything's cleaned up and just handle it all than to wake up to dirty dishes in my sink. Do not like that at all. It's the same as, okay, I'm really sharing all my grievances here tonight. This is not what this live was supposed to be about. Look, there's a goat looking at us. Can you see it? There's a little head that's going to pop back up over the fence here in just a second, I bet. What I was going to say was, come on now. I'm shaking. There. Look. I have a feeling that Starla. It is. It's Starla. She wants to know, are we ever going to eat, Mom? It's too soon, baby. Just a minute, okay? We got just a few more minutes. It's the same for me whenever it comes to... Oh, boy. See? The natives are getting a little restless down here. They're getting a little vocal, and we're going to have to cut this live short in a bit. It's the same as when the bathtub water is left behind and it's cold and I have to stick my arm in it. I don't know what I'm afraid of, but I don't want to touch it. I have been known to go get a fork to get if you have to touch the drain to or grab the loopy thing to pull it out, or anything that involves going in that water, I will find things so that my hand does not have to touch that cold water. I know, I'm weird. Even if it was my water, which I don't know why. It's cold. I don't want to touch it. Yes, Jennifer. Yes. I know. I'm just weird, okay? I just have weirdo things. And when the kids were little, and they would, summertime specifically, so when Lex and Connor were little enough to still take a bath together in our giant bathtub in Plum Grove, I would go to bed sometimes and they would play in there for hours. And their water had to be freezing by the time they got out, which is probably why they didn't want to stick their hand in to unplug it either. But the next morning, the thought of sticking my arm in that sink, oh my gosh, just forget, or in that tub, just forget it. It was like cringe, have to talk myself into it, and it's ugh, ugh. Juanita makes homemade tortillas with bacon grease. I've never made homemade tortillas. I saw that Stephanie made them on their trip, and I thought that was really special, and I might have to have her show me how to do it because I have never, ever attempted to make homemade tortillas. Yep, they're starting to get like, Mom, we walked up, we saw ya. We've had a drink. We stood here in the shade. We've all talked about what we're hungry for dinner, and we were just wondering if you're going to put those boots on anytime soon. Bobby, rubber gloves still, like, no, it's still too deep, and that cold is still going to like make me feel it. It's not just the germiness of it. It's the actual feeling of it. Hold on. Somebody said I've never bathed in a tub till I was 15. Oh, Miss Pearl. Miss Pearl, I love me a bath every night. I don't care if I'm not getting in till 11:30 at night. A bath is like my jam. I'll shower if I'm super gross and like also in a hurry, or if I need a legit hair washing. But I like to soak in the tub. Big fan. I find it hilarious you won't put your hand in the sink water, but you'll go in the pond. I know. Listen, I said I'm weird, okay? Ooh, butter and sriracha on popcorn. That sounds good. Jennifer, we were waiting for the horses to come up, and they're here, and I'm getting ready to go do feed ups. Look, they're all making their way over now. That means I'm probably going to have to let y'all go. We're all weird, Mom Boy says. We only had one bathroom growing up as well, and it had a tub and a shower in it. And if somebody needed to use the restroom, you closed the curtain, because that was life with 4 people in a house with one bathroom. All right, we're going to stay live for about 5 more minutes, and then legitimately I have to let you go because they're going to start being mean to each other, and I don't like to show that side of my little family here, okay? I like for us to hide our crazy just a little bit every once in a while. I know there's a lot of people that don't like baths, and I'm not trying to encourage anyone to have to take a bath or anything like that. It's just it feels really strange to say this. I cannot multitask while I'm taking a bath. Yes, I can build my videos and do all the things, or pay my bills, do all of that, but it's not like I'm being pulled in 27 directions. So it's sort of like my unwind. Miss Tina, I did get the buttons you sent, and they're beautiful. Thank you so much. Debbie's cooking goulash. Bye, Miss Debbie. I also have to give a shout out to anybody who's cleaned other people's homes before, because you are better and braver than me. It's one thing to clean the home for someone you love and know, but to clean a stranger's home, I don't know. I bet you've seen some things that you can't unsee. I like a hot tub too, but believe it or not, I actually sometimes get too hot in a hot tub. We used to have the blow-up version here, but we took it down for prom, and then while it was down, the dogs poked a hole in it. So we've never recovered from that. No more hot tub. Oh, I can't imagine what y'all have seen if you cleaned other people's homes. I really cannot. So there's a thing for me though, like somebody said they cleaned out a hoarder's house. I think that I would like to do like storage unit clean outs. But then again, if somebody moved a fridge with food in it, it would ruin it for me forever. Like, I don't want to see anything that gross in storage units. I probably would not be good second guessing all of that. I would like it after somebody's pulled it all out and verified that there's not something dead in it. How about that? Yeah, I don't want any bed bugs. I don't want any, nope. See, y'all are better human beings than me. I don't want any of that mess. No, thank you. All right, y'all. I'm gonna wind down here. I'm gonna wind you down. I'm gonna wind up. I gotta drum up some energy. I've had 45 minutes to sit here and contemplate life with you. And I'm gonna go put my boots on, put my hair in a ponytail, and get to work for the evening. And I hope that y'all stay safe and stay well. I know Lester will be live tonight for the regulators. I just wanted to say hello tonight. Nothing crazy, just a simple waiting for the horses to come up, and just wanted somebody to hang out with, talk to. I love y'all so very much, and I'm so grateful that you chose to spend a few minutes with me on this Thunder Thursday, because that's what I hear it is. Y'all be careful tonight with the thunder moon, and stay safe and stay well. I love you, and I'll catch you on the next video.